Have you ever looked at the restaurant menu and thought to yourself, how hard could it be to make this at home? This is Heim Cafe in Lisbon, one of my favorite brunch spots anywhere, and recently I've been craving one of their signature dishes, the sweet dreams. Only issue is, I'm not going to Lisbon anytime soon, so that got me thinking, how hard could it be to actually make the sweet dreams at home? After a bit of harmless stalking around, I managed to find an old photo of the menu that has sweet dreams in it. Here's what it reads: French toast with scrambled eggs, bacon, guacamole, salad, feta cheese, beet hummus, sesame seeds, green peas, and microgreens. Whew. It's a mouthful and it sounds delicious, but I think we can probably pull it off. So let's see if we can out-brunch my favorite brunch spot. It's on to the kitchen! I think instead of hummus, let's make a baked butter beans and beetroot spread. I've washed and dried the beans to prep them for the seasoning. Salt and pepper, extra virgin olive oil, a few crushed cloves of garlic that would turn a mellow golden brown, and some gorgeous fresh oregano to sweeten the deal. We're coating these nicely so that the olive oil can do its magic in the oven and take everything to the next level. These don't really need baking, but baked beans have awesome flavor, so I don't see why not. A preheated tray kinda helps speed up the process and helps the beans develop some serious caramelization, which lends them their lovely baked flavor. About 20 minutes at 180°C in the oven seems to do the job. Once everyone's cool enough, we can move the party to everyone's beloved food processor, together with the addition of 1 medium pre-cooked beetroot, 2 to 3 tablespoons of full fat yogurt or sour cream, salt and pepper, a strong glug of olive oil, and last but certainly not least, one of my recent addictions, balsamic glaze. Seriously, I can't get enough of the stuff. It's sweet and sour and packs a punch. Now that everyone's chilling, let's let her rip. As I was saying, let's let her rip. What the son of a... Everyone's got an opinion these days. Alright, let's try that again. Come on. Marvel at the pretty colors and check for seasoning. Pretty damn delicious. Now let's move on. Next up on the item list, guacamole. I love this stuff, and not just on a chip. Obviously we'll need some ripe avocados. I like to use a red pepper instead of tomatoes for better crunch and sweetness. The customary lime, a small onion, and some soap. I mean everyone's beloved cilantro. Now the way I do the onions is a little bit tedious, I'll admit. I'll start by topping, tailing, halving and separating the layers of the onion. That I then cut into 2 and cut again to something similar to matchsticks. Again, this only takes some patience, no special skills. We then turn those toxic matchsticks into a very fine dice by bunching them up and giving them the fine chop business. Every now and then I like to be pretentious and macerate the diced onion in the lime juice while I'm prepping the rest of the stuff. This will take the edge off the onion and make it slightly less mad at you. While that's on, we can prep the pepper in similar fashion to the onion. Top, tail, clean her up a bit, and I also like to remove some of the white stuff without getting too technical about it. Lastly, turn them to, let's call them large matchsticks. Everything's a matchstick these days. We'll lastly give the pepper a fine dice to get to these lovely little squares that make this whole process worth it. Think of it as cheap therapy. Now I know cilantro is a sensitive topic. What I will say is I found a somewhat middle ground, I think, where I only include a few finely diced stalks that lend a bit of aroma, but not too much. If that's still too much adrenaline for your liking, skip the cilantro. Using a sharp knife, we're scoring our ripe avocados, turning carefully across the whole thing and twisting it open. Same knife, carefully remove the stone, and lastly pry the good stuff out, using your trusty spoon of choice. Mash the flesh to not baby food consistency for the love of God, and add the onion, lime juice, pepper and cilantro stalks to the mix, along with a crack of salt and pepper to get yourself one mean guacamole. You're welcome. Set it aside and let's bring home the bacon. In Heim's gorgeous sweet dreams, there's also a couple of crispy bacon strips, so we must. Starting from a cold frying pan over low-medium heat allows for the bacon fat to render out before the bacon burns, so that it can slowly crisp up in its own fat. Kinda like us in real life. Flipping every now and then, the bacon should be done in probably about 10 minutes. I really didn't time this, but that sounds correct. Besides, food videos lie all the time anyways, so 5 minutes it is. Final stretch. Over at Lisbon, they're using sweetbread French toast, but I ain't got none, so sourdough it is. I'm improvising a batter made of a single egg yolk, 1 to 2 tablespoons of sugar, and a dash of milk that I've whisked to somewhat smooth consistency. In we go with our sourdough. Into a frying pan with some melted butter over gentle heat. Flipping every now and then, this shouldn't take long before it's nicely golden on each side. The last thing on the menu is an egg scramble, but by this stage I had completely forgotten that and was going for more of an omelette. I have to be completely honest, I just improvised my way there. Whisking a couple of eggs with a dash of milk and some salt and trying to get it to a somewhat round looking shape to fit the bill. In the end, I think it turned out better than I was hoping for, to be honest. Alright. It's the moment of truth. We're gonna start with a healthy dollop of our baked butternut beans and beetroot spread. We'll come behind with our exquisitely looking sourdough French toast, improvised but kinda good omelette, a few dollops of the guac, bacon strips, a bit of green for some additional height and a healthy boost, a good drizzle of olive oil, and lastly some crumbled feta and a sprinkle of sesame seeds. And this, ladies and gents, is one fine looking plate if I do say so myself. It brings tears to my eyes in hopes of returning to my beloved Heim Cafe in Lisbon. But in the meantime, I'll certainly enjoy this feast at home. Here, have an out of focus bite on the house. Well, I guess not. You have to just make your own. Like and subscribe. Until next time.